Good evening, I'm Nicole Weisberg. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, more privatization. The Premier vows to cut surgery wait times with a new plan. A new citizen initiative petition launched by an Alberta musician. And turfing the turf, a big upgrade coming to Commonwealth Stadium.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nicole Weisberg.
The Premier confirmed today a plan to allow doctors to work in both private and public health care. She says the dual practice surgery model is the answer to lengthy wait times. CTV's Métis joins us live with details. And Nairman, how will this work?
Well, Nicole, the province says this new model will allow surgeons to perform more operations a year, as there are tens of thousands of Albertans currently on a surgical wait list, by opening up more surgery times. Now, surgeons will soon be allowed to offer elective procedures paid for by patients or their insurance companies after they commit to a minimum number of publicly funded surgeries per year. Private surgeries will also have to take place outside of regular business hours. The province says currently publicly funded surgeries are limited to 1,000 a year. This would add 200 to 300 more private surgeries a year.
We are increasing access to ours, we're increasing funding to perform surgeries, and we're increasing the utilization of chartered surgical facilities to decant or take low-complexity, volume-capable surgeries out of hospitals so we can backfill them with more urgent and complex surgeries. It's not one or the other.
Research group Fraser Institute agrees with this move, saying it is in line with many other countries with similar models.
Let's be clear, we are already paying for world-class universal access healthcare. We're just not getting it right now. And part of the reason is there is no competitive option to show that you can deliver timely patient-focused services, to put that pressure on the public sector, and to allow some patients to leave the public queue, seek care privately.
One emergency room doctor CTV spoke with is not in favor of this new model. Dr. Paul Park says without hiring more staff, such as anesthesiologists and nurses, it's unclear who is going to help these doctors perform additional surgeries. Now, the province says it will conduct several reviews to ensure things are running smoothly and make adjustments as needed. Now, Matt Jones says this bill will be introduced in the session, but an actual date is not known. Now, we have reached out to the province regarding staffing issues and have not heard back yet. Nicole.
Thank you, Nairman. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees has served strike notice to Alberta Health Services. Thousands of nursing care workers, from licensed practical nurses to healthcare aides and operating room technicians, could hit the picket lines as soon as this weekend. CTV's Marianne Valdez-Carletti has more.
The countdown is on for Alberta Health Services to reach a deal with the AUPE on behalf of more than 16,000 healthcare workers.
After almost 20 months of bargaining, the employer had fallen short, far short of delivering what is needed and what is deserved.
Without a deal, workers could start striking as soon as Saturday at 8:30 a.m. The province has offered 12% wage increases over 4 years. The union says it's not enough.
No one chooses this lightly. But we reached a point where we had no choice.
We are aware of colleagues that are going to food banks and struggling to make it from paycheck to paycheck.
The AUPE and AHS have been bargaining for nearly 20 months. Earlier this month, members voted 98% in favor of a strike. The strike would be on a rotating schedule, with 20% of members allowed to strike at a time. That's about 3,200 healthcare workers.
This is a system that has been in crisis for a very long time, and it's definitely going to be felt.
The union says some elective surgeries have already been canceled. One Labour professor says there will be real day-to-day impacts, but Albertans shouldn't worry.
There will be enough nurses on the job at any one time to ensure that people's lives will not be put at risk.
The province says it's disappointed in the strike notice, and the union was offered a fair deal.
I'm going to treat this 72-hour period like we're still at the table. They aren't actually striking yet, so encourage them to return to the table, and there's still time.
Finance Minister Nate Horner says it's highly unlikely the province will use the notwithstanding clause. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is closing a supervised consumption site at the Royal Alexandra Hospital and replacing it with a recovery-focused clinic. The site will close December 16th. The province says it will be replaced with a rapid access addiction medicine clinic operated by Recovery Alberta. Minister of Mental Health and Addictions Rick Wilson says a recovery response team will monitor the hospital campus and surrounding areas 24 hours a day.
We are going to be out there on the streets helping people. We're going to have people 24/7. That was never there before. That's a brand new service that's going to be out there, and this is going to save lives. And I've seen it. It works.
The province says the supervised consumption site saw limited use compared to the other two sites operating in the city. Wilson says more psychiatric beds will be added to the Royal Alex, which he says is a more appropriate use of the hospital. Alberta's Auditor General has found taxpayers lost more than $100 million when the province switched to private lab testing services. The Auditor General report finds major failures with oversight, records management, and financial analysis after the province signed a 15-year deal with Dynalife in 2022. The report also shows Alberta taxpayers spent $77 million in non-value-added costs and an additional $32 million when AHS terminated the contract. A non-value-added cost is when money is put towards an objective that is not achieved.
Their objective was to outsource community lab services. They went through this whole exercise, spent the money, and they didn't achieve what they wanted to. So you didn't get the result you wanted for which you paid taxpayers money.
The Auditor General says he did not receive all the relevant information he requested, which could have impacted his findings. He's recommending in the future departments follow procurement processes, do an upfront analysis, and have more detailed records management. An Alberta musician and rancher has filed a new application for a citizen initiative petition. Corb Lund says he's been fighting for 5 years to stop coal mining on the eastern slopes of the Rockies.
I'm not partisan. I don't have any affiliation or affection for any of the parties. This has nothing to do with anything at all political except for not ruining the water in the mountains for all Albertans. And I also have been clear about saying I'm not anti-resource. I understand we need resources, but it doesn't mean that every project is a good idea. And these coal mines in the headwaters of our rivers are a terrible idea.
The Grassy Mountain Coal Exploration Project was initially rejected in 2021 over environmental concerns. Alberta's energy regulator approved the exploration earlier this year. The AER says the project near the Crow's Nest Pass is in the public interest. Lund's petition still has to be approved by Elections Alberta. The city is removing some elm trees in North Edmonton after another tree tested positive for Dutch elm disease. The infected tree was found in Glengarry. It is the second tree to test positive this year. In July, a sick tree was found in nearby Alberta Avenue. In total, 7 trees have tested positive since the deadly fungal disease was discovered last August. The city says containing the spread is a community effort. It's asking you to avoid bringing firewood to Edmonton from other areas and to prune dead and dying branches from October to March. The city says elm wood must be disposed of immediately at the Edmonton Waste Management Centre. Construction is underway on the Commonwealth Stadium field. The home of the Edmonton Elks is getting a makeover in the form of new artificial turf. The work started about a month ago and is expected to be finished by the start of next season. The club's president says the new turf will be a big upgrade.
It prevents people from hurting their knees when they torque on the turf. So that's the big difference between this level of turf and what we had in the past. This has been approved by Rugby Canada. It's been approved by Football Canada. So it's a really, really high-level turf.
The field will have slots for 2 sets of goal posts to align with both CFL and minor football rules. As part of a rule change announced earlier this year, CFL fields will be 10 yards shorter in 2027. And meteorologist Josh Clausen is at the Bison Lodge tonight, emceeing the newest fundraiser for BGC Bigs Edmonton area. How's it going, Josh?
Oh, it's going fantastic. Yeah, it's the inaugural evening of opportunity for BGC, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Edmonton area. And I have the co-executive director with BGC Bigs, Carrie Woodland, with me. How are you, Carrie?
I'm great. Thanks, Josh.
I can't wait for tonight. Explain a little bit about what's going to go on this evening.
Absolutely. We're hosting a fundraising event here tonight at the Bison Lodge to raise money for the programs at our agency.
Okay, so where's the money going to go? How many kids are going to be helped by this?
Yeah, in the course of a year, we serve over 4,500 children and youth, and so it's going to go to mentoring programs and after-school programs.
I had a chance a couple of weeks ago to stop by one of the boys and girls. Oh, man, what you guys do there is incredible. So anybody that's in the room tonight is helping to support a really great cause. But not everybody can be here tonight. If there are people at home that would like to help out, how can they?
You know what? Go to our website, bgcbigs.ca/donate, and you too can open a door to potential for young people.
Outstanding. Carrie, thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
We'll talk again tonight at 6, and then I can't wait for this evening. This is going to be fantastic. All right, let's talk a little bit about the weather today, which was also pretty fantastic. You got a dusting of snow last night, as expected. Didn't really amount to all that much. Sort of a skiff across most of the Edmonton area, and a lot of that has already melted because we got to 5 under sunny skies today. We're at 4 in downtown Edmonton right now. A little cooler outside the city, -2 at YEG and -1 in Mayo. -5 is where we started the day here in Edmonton today. We got up to a handful of degrees above 0, though, for a daytime high. 0 and -9, the averages for this time of year, will stay above average. It looks like not only tomorrow, but through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next week, things start to cool down. It'll be a cool start to tomorrow. Get the clear skies overnight tonight. Will allow temperatures to drop close to double digits, -9 in the morning, and then sunny with a few clouds tomorrow afternoon, and a high of about 3 degrees. So a degree or 2 cooler tomorrow than what we saw today. We're back up into the 6 or 7 degree range, though, for Friday and Saturday. So we'll talk more about that and the snow and the cold coming for next week, all in just a few minutes. Cool.
Thank you, Josh. After the break, do you know what you can and can't flush down the toilet? What EPCOR says may surprise you.
It can be flushed down all the way to our pump stations, where that it also can lead to backup in the entire sewer network.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
A Southside City Councillor says widening 41st Avenue Southwest should be a priority as that area of Edmonton continues to grow. Instead, a different commuter route is getting attention first. Neighborhood developers are required to upgrade certain major roads as new communities take shape. None are obligated to widen the 41st Avenue until land to the south is developed, and there are no plans to do so. Today, Council approved a standard rezoning for land that will become the new Kendall neighborhood in the southwest. That plan will see part of Ellerslie Road widened. New Councillor John Morgan wants to see 41st Avenue twinned from Calgary Trail to 170th Street. He'd like developers to pitch in.
We have another community that is going to be abutting that avenue and using that road eventually, and no plans as yet to widen 41 Ave.
Developers will pay to add one extra eastbound lane between Allard and the QE2. That work is expected sometime in the next 2 years. Any widening beyond that is the city's responsibility. Morgan plans to pitch the project in the next budget. The newly elected president of Alberta Municipalities says he wants to build partnerships with the province and increase transparency. The organization represents communities across Alberta. Members elected Grand Prairie Councillor Dylan Bressie as their new president at last week's convention. One resolution that saw major support was a push for the provincial government to collect its own education property taxes. Bressie says it's about more transparency around where tax increases are coming from.
Over the next 3 years, the province is going to be collecting about $1 billion more in property taxes than it already is. It's a 14% increase we're seeing this year, a 10% increase next year to provincial property taxes. And our members really want to make sure that Albertans understand where those tax increases are coming from and what level of government is responsible for what when it impacts their pocketbooks.
Alberta Municipalities recently launched its Property Tax Reimagined campaign. It aims to help Albertans understand the breakdown of municipal costs and what may drive property tax bills up. It is World Toilet Day, and EPCOR is taking the opportunity to tell us what should and shouldn't be flushed down the toilet. EPCOR says last year crews responded to 159 calls for sewer backups. More than 70% of those were linked to the wrong things being flushed. That includes tissues, dental floss, hair, cotton swabs, feminine hygiene products, paper towels, and wipes, even ones marketed as flushable. It says only bodily waste and toilet paper should go in the toilet.
They're actually settling within their home plumbing. And eventually, with the presence of other elements such as fret, soil, and grease, which I should say should also be disposed of in the garbage, these elements will stick to the fret, soil, and grease, for example, or just being heavy will settle in the home plumbing and will lead to blockages, sewer backups.
EPCOR says these issues can also impact the entire sewer network and cause harm to local waterways such as creeks and the North Saskatchewan River. After the break, comedian Dave Chappelle is coming to Edmonton on short notice. Details next.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Weather time now. Josh is at the Bison Lodge tonight, emceeing a first-of-its-kind fundraiser for BGC Bigs. Josh, that snow didn't stick around for very long here in the city.
No, it really didn't. We thought, if anything that we got for accumulation was going to still be on the ground this morning, by for sure the end of the week it would be done, but most of it, aside from some sidewalks and some driveways and side streets, has already completely disappeared. No more snow in the forecast until Monday of next week, and that'll usher in a big cool down for next week. We'll show you that with the 10-day forecast in a second. First, take a look outside with the Action Furnace River Valley Sky Cam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. We're at 2 degrees downtown Edmonton right now after hitting that high of 5 earlier in the day today. Sky's still pretty clear, as has been the case all day. -5. To the south in Red Deer, it's cooled off pretty quickly outside of the Edmonton area. -2 in Jasper. You're down to -4 and -7 in Lloydminster and Coronation right now. Wind is pretty light across most of the province, and you can see clear skies for almost everybody. Just a little bit of cloud cover there in the extreme northeastern corner of the province. We'll keep the clear skies through this evening and overnight. So outside the city, you're probably in the -11, 12 range tomorrow morning. Here in the city, we'll be about -8 or -9. We'll start the day with some sunshine and then a few clouds through the afternoon, although most of the thickest cloud cover should pass north of the Edmonton area. And you see that little stripe there from high level south towards Peace River. A little bit of snow, but that'll stay north of Edmonton. Now, I think the next wave that you're going to see here for early Friday morning is probably going to stay north of the Edmonton area as well, but will be cloudy through the morning hours on Friday. Fairly clear skies tomorrow morning, though. -9 in Edmonton to start today, -11 in Fort McMurray, Cold Lake at about -14 in through the morning hours. -2s in through the Peace Country with some clouds increasing through the afternoon. -6 in Fort McMurray, but closer to 0 for Vegreville. You'd be -1, -2, Lloydminster region, and Red Deer, Jasper, 2 or 3 degrees above 0. Here in the city, -4 mid-evening, dropping to -9 tomorrow morning. -2 by lunchtime, and back up a couple of degrees cooler than today. 5 was the high today. We'll get to about 3 for a high tomorrow afternoon, and that'll come mid-afternoon with temperatures by supper time back just slightly below 0. Look at the next 4 days. 3 tomorrow, 7 Friday with a mix of sun and clouds, 6 on Saturday, and then 3 on Sunday. But that's the end of the warm spell. -2, chance of snow Monday. Some of that snow might actually spill into Tuesday, and a daytime high. I mean, we haven't had much for -5 to -10 range lows so far in November. Daytime highs are going to be in that -5 to -10 range next week, with morning lows in the -teens. So if you enjoyed the warm temperatures that we had today, soak up the next 4 days. 4 more warm days before the cold starts to settle in. Nicole?
Noted. Thank you, Josh. Dozens gathered at City Hall today for the official proclamation of Métis Week. The event featured cultural performances and traditional music. Mayor Andrew Knack and other dignitaries were in attendance. Métis Week happens annually around November 16th, the day Métis leader Louis Riel was executed 140 years ago. Knack acknowledged the need to always consider reconciliation in decision-making.
The work of ensuring Métis voices, knowledge, and lived experiences are not just acknowledged, but truly shape the future of Edmonton.
Some upcoming Métis Week events include a youth open house tomorrow, a gathering with Métis Housing on Friday, and a gala on Saturday. Comedian Dave Chappelle is coming to Edmonton in 2 weeks' time. Chappelle will bring his show to Rogers Place on December 3rd. He's an Emmy and Grammy Award winner. The event is phone-free, meaning the use of smartphones and smartwatches won't be allowed during the show. Tickets are on sale now. When we return, a children's charity building and gifting toy cars for kids.
It's just like so cool to see. They get so happy, they get so excited.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Thursday on Your Morning, artificial intelligence brings benefits and harms. We have the right and wrong ways to use the technology from a brain scientist. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by Boston Pizza's 5 Days of Pizza for Ben, supporting the Ben Stelter Foundation.
New on CTV News at 6, a proposed referendum question on whether Alberta should leave Canada is now before the courts. And a look at how other provinces have used the notwithstanding clause and the outcome. Those stories and more tonight on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. Volunteers with Variety Children's Charities spent the afternoon building toy cars for kids with disabilities. The program is called Go Baby Go. It benefits children living with disabilities and with limited mobility. 7 children in Edmonton will get a new toy car. The adaptive vehicles have push-button switches, supportive seating, and communication devices.
Just to see the kids finally get to just be able to move around and be independent and be free to move around independently is just like so cool to see. They get so happy, they get so excited.
Since the program started in 2019, Go Baby Go has provided more than 400 toy cars to kids across the province. And that is our show for tonight. Thank you for watching. CTV National News is next.